She used to be an actress.
Did she ever do anything that I would have saw?
I think her biggest deal was she starred in a pilot.
What's a pilot?
Well, you know, the show's on TV.
I don't watch TV. I just fly this spaceship.
Yes, but you're aware that there's an invention called television, and on that invention, they show shows?
Yeah.
Well, the way they pick the shows on TV is they make one show, and on that show it's called a pilot. And they show that show to the people who pick shows, and on the strength of that one show, they decide if they want to make most shows. Some get accepted and become TV programs, and some don't and become nothing. I think she starred in the one that became nothing.
Welcome to Couch Pilots, all of my friends. It's the show that dares to fly into the unknown territory of awful television, pilots of the pan. My name is Jason, and with me is the man who keeps me guessing. It's Captain Philip Russisher. Good evening.
Good evening, sir. How are you?
Good. This was episode 7. No, wait, 8. 8. So we're just a few episodes away from the end of the season. All game shows. Some said it couldn't be done. Some said it shouldn't be done.
And some said they'll do it.
Yeah, some didn't care.
No, some
and
didn't care.
Some continue to know don't know we exist.
Even with hashtag game show.
Yeah,
I thought that would be a great hashtag, but
great
not
hashtag.
working out.
Not paying off at all. We have such a cornucopia of things to talk about. Such a wide, thick, veiny, girthy amount of
Docile.
Oh yeah, docile. Ooh yeah.
I was never good with a thesaurus.
Synonyms ain't my bag, baby. Okay, so today is the 5th of April.
Yes.
But not actually.
Right.
And so we just recorded some episodes a few weeks ago, and then your birthday happened, and now here we are today.
Yeah, and so we're going to talk about my birthday.
I think we have to.
We have to talk about your birthday because you first of all, I want to just say, hey, thank you for the date night. It's a perfect date night. You picked me up. You were a gentleman. You came to the front door. You never come to the front door.
No.
You came to the front door. We got, and Molly was like, I thought he was going to bring you flowers. I was like, well, see, he gave me something better than flowers because we got in the car, you turned it on, and I knew instantly, I didn't say anything right off the bat. Instantly, you were playing Sturgill Simpson, and I heard some Tyler Childers, and I was like, oh, this guy is just creaming my pants.
Why didn't you say anything? Because there was a half second where I thought it was all for naught.
No, I noticed it right off the bat.
I know, but why didn't you say anything is what I'm asking you.
I was just enjoying the moment. I was like, oh, my best friend, I'm not his best friend, took the time to say, this guy, I got to drive him for a half hour to where we're going. I'm going to play some music that he digs instead of that fucking weird shit you listen to.
If you think that's gay,
I'm
listeners at home.
Oh,
just you wait, because the night gets a lot more romantic. I had come to the door. And I was wearing what I'm wearing now. It's just some decent looking jeans and a sweater. It looks, I think it looks fine.
Yeah.
And then Molly's like, "Oh, he didn't dress up like he thought he was gonna." I was like, "What?"
Well, no,
because they're wearing khakis.
I was wearing a khakis.
You got them out of cryo freeze for your birthday,
and a button-up shirt. And she goes, "Well, is he getting dressed up?" I said, "Oh, I don't know." And she was like, "Well, shouldn't you ask him?" And I said, "No." I said, "I'm going. He's taking me to a very fancy restaurant." And to me, that's a fancy restaurant.
I mean, it's a little pricey if you equate pricey with fancy, but there's dudes in there with tank tops and flip flops walking around.
I know.
You can't go to Jim's Steakhouse downtown and probably be seated wearing flip flops at a tank top.
Sure.
So I felt like I was wearing a nice casual, and you look business casual.
Thank you.
You look like you're ready to file some papers and maybe do some data entry
on some Manila folders. I had some Manila folders ready.
You got to laminate them then. Right?
Yes.
Put them in the file cabinet.
You don't want them to get bent up.
So we did that. I joked about having a corsage, And one of you guys yelled at the other, you and Molly's like, did you tell him about that? And the answer was no. I just was joking about having a corsage.
Well, and it was funny because Molly had made the joke when I was getting dressed and prepping myself. I shaved my balls and everything.
Sure.
But she's like, "Oh, is he going to bring you a corsage?" And then when you said that's you guys were in.
Our
in
cycles
tune.
have linked up.
Sure.
Well, we go to the restaurant. We get some nice filet mignon steaks. Ooh, they're good. And what was your favorite part about the steakhouse, Alexander Steakhouse?
I really enjoyed it all. You said order whatever you want.
I still want you to hold back. It's your birthday. Enjoy
I know,
it.
but I felt guilt instantly. Instantly,
Why?
I felt guilt because I got an appetizer.
So, who cares?
Well,
Enjoy it.
I do. I feel bad.
You can never relax, right?
No.
You can never just like let it all hang out and do whatever you want.
Just
even
absorb the pleasure.
Even if it's just for a couple of hours, even if it's 10 minutes away from where you live, you can't just let it all hang out and have fun.
Well, no.
I don't feel guilty about any of it because I felt like I did a good job.
You did a great job.
I want to make sure you had a nice job. So any of these residual feelings, I hope they weren't.
No, not at you at all. They're all internal. They're all internal. I ordered some onion rings. They were delish. I ate a whole bunch of them.
Pretty good.
I had a salad, and the salad was great because I could make it the way I wanted to. I love a salad bar because I can make it the way I want. I
love a rainy night.
Yes, and thank God it was a sunny evening, clear skies, a little chilly, a little brisk, the steak was melt in your mouth.
Oh, so good.
I had a big potato.
I had my steak rare. I had a 12. I think it was was it a 12 ounce? It was 7 ounce.
7. I know yours was rare because
God, it was so good.
Because the guy gave them to us.
Yeah,
and
he gave it to him wrong.
Yeah, and I cut into it. I was like, "Ooh, this is medium."
Oh my God,
shit.
the rare steak was so good.
So I was like, "This is on you, brother." And so we switched plates even.
That's right.
And
you gave my plate a little kiss before you handed it over. I don't know why, but always you always do that.
Yeah,
that's the first time I ever noticed you doing it.
Well, we don't go someplace fancy.
That's true. We don't go to a lot of flip flop.
I'm not gonna kiss a cardboard container with a burger in it.
That's true.
And so we had a great meal. I had one beer, and you had their famous Long Island iced tea. And
you can't order more than 2 because of the alcohol content.
Yeah. And so we had some great conversation. Nothing too heavy, nothing too light. Mm-hmm. You used a lot of profanity. I think it has something to do with the Long Island.
I love to curse.
I know you do. So then afterwards, we were full. We were full to the brim. Our bellies were full. I could not even find a place to put beer.
Guess what the bill was? Just guess. Take a guess.
With tip?
Yeah.
$115.
It was $410.
No.
After there, we went up to the Peoria Heights, and we went to Poor Brothers. It's a cool little spot. That's,
We were
it's kind of
I was
open
so
back up.
full. I was so full.
Yeah, but I mean, we had to have early reservations.
Sure.
Because you finally, like half a week before your birthday, let on, like, I would like to do this. I was like, I've been trying to plan this for 2 weeks. So I had a very short window to make these reservations. Like, you can come in at 4:30 or midnight.
But that was great for me. That was even a better present because I love to eat dinner at like 4:30 or 5.
Great.
I love
I'm
it.
glad it worked out better for you. I'm just saying that, like, at the end of the night, you said, I want to end up at the Moose. And that's fine. But, like, I don't want to show up at, like, for me, I was like, I'm not an old man, but I'm not a young man. It's like, I don't want to show up at a bar where I'm going to spend the rest of the evening at 7:05 p.m. and stay there for 5 hours. I say, let's show up at like 8 or 9. We did end up getting there probably about, 7:30?
Yeah, we stopped at the bowling alley to watch people bowl.
Oh, that's right. I totally forgot
Molly
about
was
that.
bowling. And that's where I was like, this date's going to go bad because this is definitely like, you're a great friend and you will like do a lot to like sacrifice so I have a good time. But I was just like, to me, this is a good time, but this is going to be painful.
See,
for somebody.
was I giving off vibes that I
No,
hated
you
her?
don't need vibes at all. You don't need
Okay.
vibes. So we watched Molly bowl. They got done very, very quickly. They were very, very drunk by the time we got there.
Yes, that's correct.
Megan was totally shit-faced. And I don't know if she was trying to like impress you or something, but she was real mouthy and real loud to everybody.
Well, I can tell you off mic how you can impress me.
She'd be real mouthy and rude.
Well, no, mouthy. But yeah, Megan was she's a loud lady.
Yeah, she's a wonderful lady, but you put some beers in her and
That's the cousin of Terry.
yeah. So they were finishing up. So I was like, let's just go to the Moose so we can get a seat.
Yeah, it's going to be overflowing with people. We get to the Moose.
I'll let you go from here
And why don't you sit back in the chair? Seriously, sit back.
I can't.
Put your because
Physically,
you're back.
yeah.
I was gonna say put your hands behind your head and sit back, but do what you're physically able to do. We go in the Moose, and it's like getting into a DeLorean that Dr. Emmett Brown made, and going back all the way to 1981 when Sam Malone first opened the doors at the Cheers bar in Boston, MA. Because we go in there. And you're like fucking Norm, man. Everyone's Blake. Everyone in there, they lift up their AARP cards and they point to them and say, "I've had this card for 20 years." But they all knew you. Everyone knew you. I have never been to a place that's had I've had a more popular companion. I've never walked into a place and they're practically swarming you for your autograph. There's probably 15, 20 people, maybe.
Sure,
Probably
yeah.
15 people there.
Yeah.
Everyone knew you. They gave you Christmas or birthday presents. People were coming over and hugging you. There's balloons. It was a cavalcade of love, and you're like, this is why I come here. This is why I do that.
No, for sure. It's my demographic, right?
Yeah.
47 to 50 to 65. I'm all about those people. And normally when I go in, if I'm by myself, I start at one side of the bar, say hi to everybody, I'll go all the way around, and that's just the way I do. I was with you, and I saw there wasn't very many seats. So I was like, ooh, let's get sat down, because I didn't want to be rude, and I knew I didn't want to go, okay, Jason, this is Leslie, Jason, this is Bill, and give you their backstory, But and for one, I go there a lot. Me and Molly go there a lot. I'm more of a social butterfly than she is. She finds a place to sit down, and she talks to people, but she finds a place to sit down and
anchors.
Yeah. And I get up, move around.
You're going in and out to smoke. There's people out there. There's always a new crowd, a new configuration of people. People coming and going, shifting seats, smoking. Man, you're the cock of the walk over there. I don't know how you do it.
Yeah, no, I feel good there, and maybe that's why I go there a lot, because it's not because people are paying attention to me. It's because everybody, like, when they see me, they're like, "Hey,"
It's the only place in the world,
yes,
where you are greeted warmly.
Yes, that's exactly true.
It's that and the beer and the gambling. I think it's a combination of those three.
Well, the beer and the beer and camaraderie, for sure. And I had this, there was this couple you mentioned. Birthday presents. There was this couple that they joined just maybe like a month ago. I've waited on them like 3 times in that month.
You've already charmed them.
And they brought me a card, and they brought me cookies, and that was like, to me, that's like that. I don't feel like an asshole there.
Well, I tell you what, all this present talk, I want to give you a present. Take this. That's my hoodie, but my hoodie's only a wrapping paper. This is the last thing I'm going to do for your birthday this year. All right. So he's opening the hoodie, and you can tell me what you find inside. I wish to God that it was signed, but it's not.
No, that's awesome. Thank you very much.
What is it?
That is a DVD copy of Encino Man,
which is one of the very few films you've ever seen to completion.
I've seen it many, many times. I'm going to send a picture of this to my mom and tell her that I got it for my birthday, and she's going to love it.
You need to clear out a time in the next week or two and just go to your mom's house, and the two of you sit there with some buttered Act 2 style microwave popcorn and just have yourself a time.
Well, yeah, because I get my second shot. Mm-hmm. Well, actually, the time of this recording, I've had it.
It's tomorrow, right?
Right.
Tomorrow you're getting it?
Yeah. So, no, this is great. This is amazing. This is awesome.
I thought that'd be pretty funny.
Oh, that's hilarious. And, super funny. Yeah, so, and I'm very bad. I'm bad with this with everybody that I know, is when I don't introduce well. I'm not good at introducing. My second wife hated it. I would see somebody, I would talk to them, and she'd stand right there. I would never even introduce her. And so I didn't want to overwhelm you with all the decoupage of the moose.
Probably not going to see most of those people
Sure,
again. I don't need to meet
right.
all of them individually. If they come in my radius, yeah, let's chat. But
Yeah, no, but you had a good time, right?
yeah, it was fine. It was fun.
It was fine. It was fine.
Terry was there, nice guy.
Yeah, you've had dealings with Terry, so
That was good. And then I think it was 2 days later, we all go back to the Moose.
which this one I was giddy about too, because Molly said, "Where do you want to go for your birthday dinner?" You know, and I was like, "I want to go to Planzas." Well, Planzas isn't open on Monday because she doesn't like that restaurant, and she only takes me there on my birthday.
A small mom and pop Italian place in Sunnyland, right down the street from my house. And we had gone there once years ago. I don't know if you remember that.
I get sick every time I go.
So why do you go?
Because I love it.
After the bowling alley and everything, or maybe it was at the bowling alley, I can't remember. But Molly said, "Did you have onion rings?" And you said, "Yes, I ordered a lot of onion rings. I love them." He says, onions upset your stomach. He's like, and you're like, "It's my birthday." like from A to Z, it's a completely illogical converation.
But for her, that what she was doing is it wasn't out of concern. It wasn't like, oh, you should. It was, well, don't complain the rest of the night about your tummy.
Okay.
Because you know better. That's what it was.
Yeah, well, fair enough. So that Monday, the actual day of your birthday, myself and Kevin and Dustin, we all go to the Moose. Kevin signs up to be a member.
Yeah, that was my
Moose.
birthday present, which was an awesome birthday present.
And there was $5 a pound for the wings, and they're pretty good. Yeah, and I mean, $5 for a pound, you're not going to beat that anywhere. Right. So I got 2 pounds of wings, and I had a couple of like rum and cokes.
Sure.
And then I don't know, there for a couple 2 hours, 2-3 hours.
Yeah, it was
great. Hell out of there.
No, it was great. I got really, really drunk. I got really, really drunk.
Good.
But no, it was great having anybody there. And Molly, I was like, hey, because she only found out like an hour before we were supposed to go that you guys were showing up, because it was kind of a spur of the moment, like last minute thing. I was like, oh my God, my friends are coming to the Moose. Oh my, this is, and she was.
It really is my birthday.
It really is my birthday. So so that was the final day of the 4-day bender.
Yes. And then just yesterday, I go to the bowling alley and I take your place with Eli for like a father-son league or whatever it is.
Adult youth league. Yeah,
and I go there, and so to kind of cap off our week and a half,
we spent a lot of time together
outside recording. Yeah, when I pulled up to pick you up for your birthday dinner, I had all the recording equipment in the back. I said, should we start rolling now? He said, let's just leave it off for tonight.
Right. Let's just be friends, not just podcast bros.
And I had trouble accepting that, but I did it.
There was a couple times, like at dinner, we were talking, and you're like, "Is my mic level okay?" And I'm like, "Oh, it's
yeah." I'm so used to having a mic in front of my face, but that's what we should. You and I should get masks that have a microphone in front of our face.
That would be good.
Flesh toned our skin, any facial hair we may or may not have, and then a microphone in front of our face. Right. I think we'd be able to recognize each other better in public if that were the case.
For sure. No, but again, thank you very much for a wonderful birthday. I do appreciate it. Both Saturday night and Monday. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. No, I mean, I didn't do a lot. We just went out and had fun.
No,
it was good.
You didn't have to do a lot. I didn't want a big to do, but I know it set you back a little bit, and I appreciate it.
I had a good time. So I
you want to talk real quick about you? About 3 times during the evening, you said, "Hey, I got a stimulus check coming. You want to go blow some money at the strip club?"
Did I say it that many times?
About 2 or 3 times.
Okay.
And so, but then you were like, oh, you didn't, I was going to go to the strip club with you, but you didn't say anything. Like, what if I would have said, yeah, let's go to the strip club? Would you have went? Because you've never partaken.
Well, I did go that one time in Johnson City.
Oh, well.
To the Fuzzy Hole, which was the right kind of abomination.
Right.
Man, that was a shack.
Yeah.
Would I have gone? Maybe. If you really wanted to, yeah.
Nah, yeah. I'm kind of over that.
Well, I mean, it's not like I'd go there and like pout. I don't really do lap dances. I mean, I wouldn't go there with my arms crossed and you get drinks. But it's like, it's not something that I normally say, I want to go to the strip club.
No, we had a great evening. It was a very memorable birthday. Molly did a great job the first 2 days, and then handed me off to you, and then you picked up the slack. So,
well, I had a good time. I hope you did too.
Wonderful time. Thank you again.
You're welcome. Something else that I've had a good time with over, I don't know, probably the past 5-6 years is listening to a podcast called the Low Blow Podcast.
Yes.
This is a program that joined our network when we had a network back in the day. It was called the FCF Network, and a handful of shows are on there, and it grew. I think at one point we had like maybe 10 shows on it. but didn't really amount to anything. It was just kind of a fun social thing to have.
Sure.
But one of our early adopters is a friend of yours through the days of roots country music and the interview you used to do. A fellow goes by the name of Atomz.
Atomz, and that's how I first met Atomz. He was the drummer for the Blind Staggers. They had their record release party, and we met. We were outside smoking, talking, and he's like, "I do a podcast," and I was like, "I do a podcast," and friends ever since then.
Yeah, and he's for a long time, for probably about 10 years, he's been doing a show called
Sure.
Low Blow, but it has no real release schedule. It'll go away for many months at a time and then come back sporadically. Sometimes he has a co-host. Those people kind of change, but he said apparently that he's winding down, and by the time this show is released, it'll already have ended, and maybe a new podcast started.
Oh.
So I'm going to give him a call real quick.
Let's give him a call.
And kind of congratulate him on a well-deserved retirement from the current show, and maybe ask him a couple questions about the new show. So let's see if he answers.
I didn't know anything about a new show.
You gotta listen to Low Blow, man. Low Blow, the podcast.
Well,
Let's see if he answers. Here, I'll put this on while we listen. Wait.
Hello?
Hey, Atomz, this is Jason and Blake at the Couch Pilots program. How are you?
Oh, hi, Jason and Blake of the Couch Pilots program. I am fine. How are you?
Good. We were just talking about how Low Blow is going away, and
Yes.
and I've been listening to the shows with you and I guess his name is Matt. I always thought it was your past co-host Dave, but even gayer. But it's just a new guy named Matt.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they kind of sound alike, so I can understand.
They walk alike. At times, they even talk alike.
Yeah, and they sometimes take in the butt alike, so,
what is it with you and gay co-hosts? Do you feel that those of you have to have a gay co-host?
It makes me feel slightly more manly.
There you
but
go.
Also, I can be a little bit more sensitive if I need to be.
You can
and not feel weird.
You can feel manly, but yet feel feminine and be cool with it. I got you.
Yeah,
I got you.
And for those who haven't heard Low Blow before, in 2,000 words or less, describe Low Blow podcast.
It was a creative masterpiece and endeavor of two unlikely co-hosts that came together and found friendship and admiration and dick jokes.
Okay, I was going to say, you better end on something really raunchy because that's the majority of the show.
I wouldn't say really raunchy.
Well,
I mean, it's what they would call appropriately inappropriate.
Which happens to be the name of the new show, is that right?
Isn't, what? It's just one of those things. We were looking for a name, and I'm like, what's the greatest catchphrase I've ever came up with? And it's that. And then I Googled, this is a true story, I'm not even making this up for the show. I Googled the name, the AI podcast, and nobody owned it.
Really?
So did you go with that?
It is officially it's called the Appropriately Inappropriate Podcast, but all the Twitter, all the logos are going to say the AI Pod.
Remember the commercials, Blake, that Adam used to do for the Low Blow program? What happened? What happened at the end of the commercial when he would say it's appropriately inappropriate? You remember?
I believe Dave would act like he was coming and go, oh!
Yeah.
That's exactly what it was.
Yeah, that was everybody's favorite.
So is this just a name rebrand, or is this a structure rebrand as well? What's going down in the sickness?
It is a name rebrand, and in parts adding more structure. See, over the year, in the beginning, long before I met you guys, Low Blow was very structured. We had a moderator, we had a team, if you will, to help me and Dave do the show.
Low Blow in its current form, and apparently its final form, it's the only form that I've ever known.
Yes.
Wildly unstructured.
So we are going back to a very structured. I would say not as structured as Couch Pilots.
Well, everything here, as you know, and are reading off your script right now, everything we say has been scripted in advance. So thank you.
Yes, 100%.
Thank you, Blake, and thank you, Adam, for sticking to your scripts thus far. Even what I just said there and am saying now
was already in it. Yeah.
all scripted.
All scripted. You're highlighted yellow. Blake is pink. Mine's blue. Those are the only highlighters I have. No particular order.
Yep, and so I would say our show is in that way is very structured, and I think you need a structure for a show.
We do.
To so people, because there's a lot of times you can meander, and you don't want to meander a lot, do you?
I do have a time to I tend to digress from topic.
Sure.
Which will still be there, but I personally need, as I grow more mature.
When's that going to start?
Like that, you like that? I feel I need to rein it back in a little bit. There have been some things that have been said on the show that I've had to do some censoring, if you will, and I don't like to do that.
Yeah, you hinted at that about a month ago in our text chain about something awful that happened to your show that you'll never talk about and never release.
Talk about it.
But that's fine. I don't even know what it is. But yes, get some structure in the show. I'm sure you'll have more fun with it. And at the end of the day, you'll be like, yeah, we didn't meander. We didn't talk about Florida for 2 hours.
Oh, we might still talk about Florida for 2 hours, but at least it'll be on about Florida.
All right, well, fair enough. I guess what I want to say is congratulations on Low Blow. Yeah, he's slow clapping.
It's been a long time.
And we'll be calling in to leave messages, and all that we are going to do in the future from now. But
in the past.
But it'll be in the past when the show is released. I assume. When are you recording your last one? Did you say this Wednesday?
Probably Tuesday. Because I'm still in right now the studio is in a complete disarray because I'm packing it up and moving it.
Was that part of the plan? Was that like you leaving your current apartment that you've been in for so long, moving in with your girlfriend? Are you saying this is kind of the end of a chapter of my life? I'm going to wrap up Low Blow in its current form, move in with my girlfriend, and have a rebirth of a program. Was that all planned to go like that?
I didn't. Honest to God, I'm gonna do a little improve right now and go off script. That I had not thought about that, but you make a very excellent point.
Yeah.
Now, obviously the word is improv, but you said improve. Is that because I wrote that incorrectly on some show notes years and years ago?
Yes, 100%.
I know how to hang up my own phone.
I know you do.
I love you. I'm very happy for you moving in with your lady. That really is a sign of maturity, one that I will hopefully never see.
I hope you don't. You know
Because
what?
I don't want to live with Chrissy, man. That's a fucking haul.
I mean, I do, but nobody else does.
Right.
I always thought I'd be the holdout bachelor, but Jason, goddammit, it needs to be you.
Well, I've crested the point where it's cute, and now it's just like, oh, that guy. And then some people will be like, don't invite that guy to that thing. That's what.
You will always be welcome. I will never not have a party. If I have a party and you don't know about it, that means I didn't have a party.
All right. Yeah, that's not always been the case for me, even among people I know. I will say, yeah. Blake concurs. No. He threw some of those parties I wasn't invited to.
I was also not invited. Don't feel bad.
Well, congratulations on the move-in. Congratulations on the new show. And I look forward to seeing you in a couple weeks at the video game convention when you and Chrissy come down. And I will have your, I think I got 5. One's a little busted, but 5 gross, rusted-out cast iron skillets for you to work your GD magic.
Can you do me a favor? Can you commit to doing me a favor now that it's a little bit warmer out there? Hit him with a pressure wash real quick. Get a lot of that surface dust off.
No, I'm not going to do that.
Fair enough.
Hey, Adam, I want to say congratulations as well. We met many moons ago, and we started talking on the outside of a bowling alley.
Fireside Bowl in Chicago, Illinois. Yeah,
great place. And we became instant friends because of podcasting as the focal point. We found out that we have so much more in common
Except
since
for
then.
Socks, but yeah, we're good.
But I congratulate you on starting a new chapter in a podcasting and also becoming a big boy and sharing a rent with some with a young lady.
I appreciate that, Blake. I love you.
I always thought that
finally coming back to Couch Pilots. It was. I mean, I had to fly the plane, which nobody still talks about. Like, it's the greatest episode ever.
It was fine.
It was all right. But like, I'm just saying.
You kind of went off script. That was only bad. You kind of went off script.
He had a very interesting. The opening was a very original, interesting.
Sure.
I loved it.
I love you, buddy.
Thank you.
I love you, buddy. I can't wait to see you.
I can't wait to see you guys. I love you guys. Enjoy the rest of your show.
Are you going to shave before you come down?
We will be the AI pod on iTunes and all that other stuff probably in the next few weeks from now. So when does this go out?
This comes out April 5th, so probably around this time. Look out for the AI pod, and that'll be with your hosts Adam Z and Matt.
Yes, around April, probably that week, actually.
Very cool. Well, all right. Well, thank you, buddy. We'll talk to you soon. I love you.
Thank you, guys. Love you guys.
Love you. Oh yeah. Good guy. Good people.
He's fine.
We
Ever tell you about that time I saw the whole loaf of bread in his beard?
Oh yeah. He needs to trim it up, right?
You did mention that at the end there.
Yeah. He skipped over it. It's fine.
Well, here's the thing. He will absolutely come down. Like, I've never seen Adam or been around Adam and be like, oh my God, you stink.
No,
or like,
not at all.
Or like, you look like a street urchin with like marks of like oil and coal on his face. I've never seen him like that. But I will tell you what I will see. Next time I see him, he'll have moved in with his girlfriend. He's going to come down here for the video game convention we're going to talk more about next week. And he will have an extra sheen of, oh, you live with me now. We're gonna run you through the ringer just a little bit. And it's gonna be shaving this. It's gonna be combing that. It's gonna be wiping this, waxing that. You know?
No, for sure. That's what happens. And you know what? It's only gonna benefit him.
Well, let me ask you this: if I were to live with a lady, what would I do differently? I feel like I'm pretty hygienic and put together. What would a lady do to me? Would she make me get rid of all my animal bones?
No, I really don't think it would have anything to do with your appearance.
Yeah, if I lived with a girl, her and I's appearance would probably link up like Molly's and I.
I think it would be more of some of your neurosis that they
now that's curb. A disease of the nervous system. Is that right?
Right. I mean, obviously, you wouldn't be able to spend as much time watching squirrels. B, I think you would have to learn to like see some like socks and sweatpants on the floor. And you would have to just let them lay.
But that's going backwards. You want to go forward with
with you. You can't go any forward with you. You have. Well, she'll probably make you stop podcasting. That's the first thing.
Okay. I've heard enough.
Living with you is like living in a living nightmare.
It would be difficult to live with you.
I have become impossible. I've got nothing else to talk about up front. Today we discussed the pilot episode of Puzzlers from the year of our Lord 1900 at 80. That was a great year.
1980 was an awesome year, baby. I was 5 years old.
I was -1. Hey, let's get that last bit of dirt on the 70s. Yep. Bury it. Hello, 80s.
Yeah, let's
a time of excess.
Yes. Let's start video games. Let's start Big Hair.
Can you imagine being Dr. Henry Pong and saying, let's start video games?
Sure.
You know? Yeah, burping began in the 80s.
We still have disco in the 80s, right?
Oh, yeah. 1980 rolls
Studio
around.
54?
What you're talking about is...
Saturday Night Fever.
No, you're talking about mid-Coke, pre-AIDS. Arguably the greatest time in history to be alive.
The Bee Gees.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Everybody was having a good time, living
life. A lot of fucking.
Oh, and that's back. Oh, you go back into 80s porn. I mean,
of unruly fucking.
We're talking all kinds of hairy bushes.
You ever hear of a rat king?
Rat
king is like a fabled animal in the New York sewers. It's like when rats kind of like they get all festery with each other, and like they almost fuse together in some fashion.
Yeah, you talked about that on the show before. Yeah,
it's probably been years. I can't remember the last time we brought it up, but that's what I imagine like 70s and 80s fucking being like.
Sure.
Two people going at it and just such wild and unruly pubic hair that it gets tangled. And it's like when two teenagers with braces kiss and they get locked together. It's like those pubes getting tangled and knotted up.
Yeah.
And you're constantly in coital until someone gets out the shears.
And thank God, by now, John Lennon is probably dead by now. I hope.
Fuck him.
Hate that guy. 1980. I mean,
oh man,
living the freest life you can live.
Living the Vida Loca, right?
Oh yeah, 1980s Camaro. Booyah!
Oh hell yeah! And get that IROC out.
Ooh.
Do some donuts around the parking lot
of the mall.
Hell yeah!
Yeah.
Oh, then you sip on some Orange Julius. Has raw eggs in it. I think a lot of what we just said put us back into the mind frame of 1980, but let's take it a little further. Let's go back to 1900 at 80 in our minds. And to do so, we'll talk about things that happened that year so we can really dig in, really get our heels in that mind frame.
Right, because you can't look at a pilot episode that was in 1980 and judge it based on 2021.
It's not fair. You and I are fair boys.
Right, yeah, fair boys.
Fair play.
Hashtag fair play.
Fair play, free play.
You know, back in 1980, there was no such thing as COVID.
Right.
For sure.
There may have been like COVID 0 or COVID 1.
People liked Donald Trump back in the 80s.
He was a handsome boy.
He was a
back
businessman.
then. Oh, yeah.
And, you know, but in 1980, TV-wise, I mean, you don't have the Brady Bunch.
No, it's over. It's over, baby.
Right. You don't have it anymore.
That's right.
Right? And you don't have Mork and Mindy anymore.
Right, it's over.
And you don't have Hill Street Blues because it hasn't even started yet.
That's right.
And you
Greatest time to be alive. Post Mork and Mindy, pre Hill Street Blues.
Yeah, and they didn't have Band-Aids back then. So you to properly judge, fairly judge.
The Farrelly Brothers judge.
The pilot, you have to go back there.
In your mind.
In your mind.
April 13th of that year, a musical Grease closes at Broadhurst Theater after 3,388 performances.
And I bet you Hamilton would have already broken that if not for COVID.
Maybe so. Let me ask you this.
You better wake up,
Yeah.
because I need a man. I need a man. And my heart is set on you. The gayest John Travolta has ever been.
I want. Is that the gayest he's ever been? I strongly suspect it's Staying Alive, but you might be right.
Yeah.
It's like they said, put on the sleeveless shirt. It's got some sleeves that cover the shoulders, but beyond that there are no sleeves. And now I will spray this olive oil on you, and then walk up and down the street.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this: if you were in Greece, if Greece was real, and you were in Greece, you don't have to. You could be a student or a teacher. You could be a T-Boyd or a Pink Lady. Which character would you be?
I think I would be the football coach.
Do you?
I really think
He's beloved.
Yeah, but I mean that would be me.
I was gonna guess the girl who was gonna get an abortion.
The dark haired girl.
Yeah, the girl who was like literally 30 years old.
Right. If you said which girl would you have had sex with, I would have picked her over Olivia Newton-John.
No, neither of those for me.
Which one?
Frenchie.
The dark haired one.
Frenchie.
No, Frenchie was.
She's beauty school knockout or beauty school dropout.
Oh, the pink hair.
That's my girl. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Nice. You know what?
Yeah.
Let your freak flag fly.
Oh yeah. I'm a fucking freak. Who would I be? Probably Jeff Conway. And then 20, 30 years later, I die from drinking alcohol, rubbing alcohol.
Which one was that?
He was
The guy with the pits, the scarf.
No, the other guy, the other cool guy.
Oh, the other dark hair. Okay, yeah.
Because there's like a couple of schlubs.
Yeah.
But it wasn't the schlub. It was kind of the cool guy who wasn't the pit mark face.
Okay.
It wasn't.
He died. Why? Because he drank too much.
He was like fucked up. I can't remember exactly what he died from, but it was probably like pills or alcohol.
Oh.
But he was on like one of those Dr. Drew help I'm a celebrity rehab man.
Damn.
Yeah.
R.I.P. brother.
R.I.P. Conway, April 14th, the very next day, the 52nd Academy Awards, Kramer versus Kramer. Dustin Hoffman and Sally Field win for Best Actor and Actress. This is that famous acceptance speech by Sally Field. Do you remember that one?
Huh.
She's like, you love me, you really love me. Something like that, or like me, you really like me. You don't remember that? Mm-mm. Sally Field in like the 70s?
Sure.
Like not, I don't know if Sally Field's ever really been sexy, but she's like one of the cutest girls that's ever lived, right?
That was the one where it was about a divorced couple fighting over custody of their child, right?
Landmark at the time.
Yeah, because men didn't have a lot of rights then, and just for that movie they do.
I had years ago, me and my buddy Nick. He might be dead now. I don't know what's going on with him. But we would rent all the Halloween movies. And we got to Halloween 3, and we're like, all right, what's going to happen after Halloween 2? This is crazy. And it turns out Michael Myers isn't in Halloween 3 at all. It has nothing to do with him.
Really?
And it was originally created to be an anthology series.
I love anthology, but not on Halloween, you see.
So I was like, why is Michael Myers? Halloween is Michael Myers. Why isn't he in the movie? So we're disappointed. I got halfway through Kramer versus Kramer. Fucking... Cosmo Kramer, Michael Richards from Seinfeld doesn't show up. I turned the fucking thing off. I said, this ain't happened to me twice, man.
Right. Yeah. What's Dustin Hoffman's famous line on that?
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
I think it's, I'm out of order, you're out of order.
Yeah. Dustin Hoffman, 3'7", very short.
Love Dustin Hoffman.
April 21st, Howard Stern begins broadcasting on WWWW, Detroit, Michigan.
WNBC.
WWWW.
And the world would never be the same.
King of all media. Let me ask you this, and we may have talked about this, and I've wiped it from my memory, my personal hard drive, if you would. Howard Stern, very famous for kind of getting in trouble with the FCA or whatever the not Future Farmers
FCC.
FCC. They won't let him be, right?
Yeah.
They try to shut him down. WNBC. But he knew the tricks and what could be said, and he got right to the edge, and he did a 50-50 Tony Hawk grind on that edge, you know.
Right.
But at some point he said fag and retard and had whores on, and they're having orgasms. And then one day he's like, I'm not going to do any of that anymore. And my interviews are just going to be kind of like, I'm interested, in-depth interview. What is that?
I think you get tired of the spiel, like you get tired of the bit, you get tired of there's no more shock value involved. Like you're not shocking anybody now. You
gotta try a different approach.
And time became It was mainstream to be. There were raunchy people.
Hey Kevin, this is Jason calling you back from the Couch Pilots podcast. Sorry I missed your call.
Yeah, what the hell, man? I was listening to your damn show with my wife on there.
My wife.
Shit. Remember,
Treating her like a piece of shit.
Remember when we had Steph on the show a
Yeah.
couple weeks ago?
Yeah. How do we treat her like a piece of shit?
Yeah. What did we do exactly, Kevin?
I don't know, man, but I'm peeved.
Are you pissed?
I'm pissed. I'm miffed. I'm cheesed.
Are you getting ornery?
You know what? Start the clock.
Start the clock. Here we go.
There it goes. Hope you don't mind dog police.
No. Hey, if you're going to have my wife on a podcast, at least, kiss her on the lips. No. Kiss my wife on the lips.
All right, I'll make note of that.
Whew. Wow, I think you really taught us a lesson there, Blake.
Sorry, Jason. I actually was calling you because I need help with something, but I realized mid-call that I was calling into Couch Pilots inadvertently.
Can we say what it is on air or not?
Can I still kiss your wife?
Oh, yeah, I have a table. I have a cousin that lives in Washington that is able-bodied that would be able to help me, but I ask him all the time for this kind of shit that hey, can you help me lift something for 5 seconds? So I just figured I'd ask you if you wanted to come over for a little bit or something.
I'll come over after the show and we can lift it.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter. It's just I picked up a table in Bloomington, a new patio table with 6 chairs. It's awesome.
Oh, God. All right, after the show, I'll text you and I'll come by and help you.
Yeah, if I don't get my cousin to come help me first, whatever.
Okay.
We'll see. All right.
All right, bye.
Have a good show, fellers.
Bye. Man, I get to kiss his wife next time.
I get to continue to do it. Great. So Howard Stern, we don't have to keep going with that. That's fine.
I mean, time caught up with him, culture caught up with him, and he couldn't get it fresh again.
I think you get to a point where you're like, you have to change your ways or you will go to the wayside. Like, if he kept doing what he was doing, circa 1999, like, he would be canceled today.
Sure. Oh, for sure.
And that would be it for him. He would be done. He'd say, fine, I'll take my $755 million and my 25 homes and my vacation every day of the week. I'll take it somewhere else. But I think he's thinking long term. Is like, I'll probably be around another 5 years and then actually retire. And I'd like to leave on a good note. I'd like to leave a legacy. And so just in these past few years, it's like someone who was a murderer, and then right before they go on death row, like, oh, God, forgive me, and then they shock him to death. Mm-hmm. It's exactly like that.
Yeah.
Why do we choose to watch Puzzlers?
4 criteria for you don't have to put your fingers up. I know what's going on.
I was talking about the 4 Horsemen.
Oh. Ric Flair. Mm-hmm. Arn Anderson.
Yep.
Tully Blanchard.
Yep.
And what's the big tall blonde guy?
Sid Vicious.
No.
Kurt Hennig.
Barry Windham. Dustin, fact check me. I think all 4 of those were 4 Horsemen at one point. I'm right up. 4 simple criteria. A, It was a pilot television show that never went to series. Whether it aired or not was irrelevant. Number 2, we had to be able to find it on the interwebs. Number 3, it had to be free. And for season 28, we've been doing this for 28 years, folks, it had to be a game show.
Boy, oh boy, are you
And
right
this one meets all 4 criteria.
It surely does. So you're probably asking your dumb self, where can I find the entire episode of Puzzlers? Well, you can do so by subscribing to Couch Pilots and Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or your favorite podcast app of choice, and then simply click on one of our classically blue links in our show notes, or go to YouTube. Blake?
You know what to do, Tube.
Flight attendants, prepare for takeoff, please.
You know what? Springtime. We're up in the sky. You know, there's not all these clouds. There's no snowfall.
Clear skies, baby. You can see for days, literally days.
Sure.
Because
we have radar.
you can see so far. You can see around the world, which is a day ahead. So you can literally see for days.
Sometime we should talk about the time that we were flying, and this was just a joyride. This wasn't a show, but we saw the Tic Tac UFO.
Oh my God, that was incredible.
That was
it moved
insane.
in speeds and directions I can't even comprehend.
Well, yeah, it went from 80,000 feet above sea level to 3 feet above sea level in a mere seconds.
You've been listening to Joe Rogan. That's what I can tell. Summary of the pilot. 4 contestants, one supposedly a returning champion, played a series of puzzle games. It's similar in context to Wheel of Fortune with simple puzzles, such as what letter goes into which puzzles.
I don't know. I don't know about that. I wouldn't compare it to Wheel of Fortune. Except the fact that Patsajak was on.
Otherwise, the show is virtually wheelless.
Yeah, there's no wheel. The phrases you don't have to choose letters. Did
the phrase pay still? Sure. But there was no wheel.
Right.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna give this a big fat F.
There was no Vanna White either. You gotta get that Vanna. You gotta get that interesting facts.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Interesting Facts. This is the part of the show where Jason has scoured the internet to find facts about this show that you most likely didn't know. Please keep your opinions of these facts to yourself. Don't taint someone else's experience and give them what you think about the facts. They're facts, and there's nothing you can say or do that's going to change that. Jason, please proceed with Interesting Facts. Lay it on me.
You don't know what hard times are, Daddy.
Remember where you wear that suit with polka dots on it?
Huh?
Dusty Rhodes.
Oh, yeah.
Look dumb. The announcer was Johnny Olson, the same announcer for... Do you know the same announcer for?
No. Wheel of Fortune.
The Price is Right.
I was about to say Fisher Price.
The Price is Fisher Price. Yeah, he was the original announcer for the Price is Right till he died. Then it was Rowdy
Piper.
That's right. Let's see. And the host, Pat Sajak, is seen here just a few years before starring on the Wheel of Fortune.
Looks young there, too.
Oh, he looks great, doesn't he? The buzzing sound effect was later used as the family pair sound effect on Blockbusters, as well as other NBC games during this period, such as the Time's Up sound from Stumpers, which sounds like a fetish site that you would have gone to.
I wrote it down.
Yeah. Let me know what the monthly subscription cost is for Stumpers. Okay?
$7.99.
You know it off the top of your head.
Well, it comes out of my credit card bill every month.
Fair enough. In the bonus round, in the buzzing sound from the 1980s television game show known as Dream House.
And that's where people played for houses that they had to end up paying taxes on.
It's for people who had trouble sleeping, and they would go into this house and have the best dreams of their career.
Their career?
Yeah.
As a sleeper?
No, their career as a game show and contestant. An edited clip of a missing initials round appeared during Game Show Moments Gone Bananas. The first word was space, ART, which led to some laughter, followed by blank, ALL, and blank, ABLE. The fourth word, blank, ARZAN, was revealed. A contestant gave the correct answer of T versus F, and that's funny because of fart.
Farts are funny.
And you know what? They never said the word fart on there.
No,
we'll talk about it. But
yeah. That would have been good. That would have been a good time to break on the show and call Adam because of fart jokes.
Yeah. Oh, he's the master, isn't he?
He's the fart man.
He's the fart man. Howard Stern's the fart man.
I'll bring it back.
Very well done. The wind cue from this show was later used for the 1983 pilots of Star Words and Body Language. Star Words instead of Star Wars.
Ah. Is that why you played the Star Wars music at the beginning, or is there something else to do with
Yeah, that was it. And then also, like a couple weeks ago, there was the interesting facts reference a show called The Wizard of Odds.
Ah, yes.
So there's a lot of like
wordplay.
Yeah, it's almost like naming a horse, because like, racing horses, like they all have the craziest names you've ever heard of.
Because they only have so many digits they can use, and you can't use one that's been used before.
And you can't. That's the main part, I think, is you can't use one. So it'd be like Henry's mistake. You're like, what? What the fuck did Henry do?
Cindy's abortion.
Halfback mistletoe.
Patty's placenta.
Fatback breakfast break. Let's see here. The last interesting fact, the main theme was also used as a rearranged commercial cue for Celebrity Charades in 1979.
Good job. Facts are over.
Twitter responses.
Twitter responses. I wonder if Jason got some Twitter responses.
No, the only person that was we could possibly Twitter response was patsajak, and he didn't respond.
What an asshole!
Oh, fuck him.
Trying to promote his career.
Let's put 10 minutes on the clock,
Bing!
And let's talk about the entire plot point. I don't know. What do you call this? Just the proceedings?
The structure of the show.
Start us off.
All right, this is the show, Puzzlers. It's full of puzzles, pictures, and payoffs, which is great. Right up off the bat, I'm in. I'm like, puzzles, pictures, and payoffs. I'm down.
Not only are you a fly boy and a fair boy,
a puzzle boy.
You're an alliteration guy.
Yeah. Oh, and I spell great. And then I see they introduced the host, Pat Sajak, and I'm like, holy cow, we are already rolling on all 20s.
He's got like a triple-breasted.
Suit.
He looked like a Southern gentleman, didn't he?
Yeah, like he owned slaves.
Pat Sajak looked like he owned slaves.
Our contestants are April, John, named after John Wayne, and Lori.
Yes.
But in the back, waiting her turn, is returning champion Anne.
Yeah, and of course,
I got
failed
some
pilots.
stuff to say about Anne.
I believe that you do. So there's information about each of these people. We don't have to get into. Go ahead.
They do go through, and this is one of the first ones really that we've done this season where they've taken the time to kind of talk to each of the contestants so you get to know them, which I enjoyed that.
Okay, well since that's one of the first times, did you make some notes about each of the contestants?
No, I just know that John Wayne was named after John Wayne.
April owns a tarantula.
Oh yeah,
tarantula.
Lori sells T-fault or some kind of
T-fault.
Some kind of
she said she
frying pan.
She said she couldn't say the brand
right,
name.
but it was like T-fault. It was T-fault. So again, so the first round is called double puzzle. Okay, you're gonna see a letter, one letter at a time, and it goes with a picture to make two words.
Yeah, so there's two words in the answer, and we see the picture. In the picture, something about the picture is the second word.
Right.
And then slowly the letters start to reveal themselves, right? Is that what it was?
Right.
And then you had to buzz in and complete that first word and then take a guess what common phrase the second picture and that second word or that picture the second word would represent.
Right off the bat, John goes buzzer crazy and buzzes in after the first letter and has no idea.
No idea.
And you know what? I think that's the last time he pushes the buzzer.
Probably so, yeah. It's the last time we see John.
Yep. So we do that, and then they go for the second round. It's a picture, but the word is the second word. So they basically reverse it.
Yeah, so that picture is the first word, and you have to guess that second word.
Yeah.
It was a person ski jumping, and so the first letter was B, and then R, and then it turned out to be broad jump because it was a skier jumping. And then Lori gets that right, and she gets $100, and Pat Sajak says you have to get to $500 to win this round to move to the next round.
Right, and also during the first round, Pat Sajak, again, just like almost every game show we've watched, has to say, hey, crowd, hold it down, hold down the applause, and don't yell stuff out.
Yeah, don't whisper out the answers. Yeah. Don't help them out.
Which it would be hard to do, right?
I think if you had no self-control, it would be. Yeah.
Okay, that's me. Lori wins the first round, and quickly, April and John are whisked away via sliding chairs.
Like MTV's remote control.
That was awesome, and I wrote that down. I was like, "That is cool."
I even noticed that John kind of waved goodbye as he's being sucked
sliding
away.
stage. Losers go off. So Lori's going to go up against the returning champion, and they introduce Ann.
Yeah. You mentioned a second ago that you had some things you wanted to say about Ann.
Okay, Ann looks a lot like my first wife. If Ann had a bushy hair, very pale, just bosomy, cute but not pretty. But just had it. They had a lot of the cheeks had a lot of facial features, and so she also enjoys. And so we have to talk a little bit about Ann.
Get to know Ann.
She loves. She's into belly dancing, and she works for a plastic surgeon.
Yeah, and then there's noses and breasts are the things that are the most common.
I wrote noses and breasts down.
And then patsajak says, those are my favorite parts of the chicken. I was like, come on.
Yeah.
Stupid.
So basically, this playoff game that they're going against each other, there's 5 puzzle categories, okay? And you have to get 3 wins. You have to get 3 categories to win. And within those 3 categories, you have to get 3 right.
Yeah, it's a little confusing. So they sit on a stage, I guess that maybe was wheeled out too, and there's 2 podiums there instead of the 3 that they began with. Ann in one, Lori in the other, and they have just like 3 rows behind them and 5 in the middle. And the 5 in the middle are all the what are the categories? Did you write those down?
License plates.
Yeah.
Picture rhymes. Missing initial. Twisters. And answer the question.
That's right. So Lori goes first, and she says license plate, and basically we're seeing just fake pictures of custom license plates with, you know how people will say like
Sure.
D, V, and then 8.
Yeah.
And it'll be, oh, that's the word deviate.
Right.
You know, it's like that. So you have to like decode what each of them are.
And you got to buzz in. So it's up for grabs. Anybody can do it.
Yeah.
Ann wins license plates easily. Ann win picture rhymes easily. Lori comes back and gets the missing initials. She wins that. So Ann's up 2-1. She only has to win one more category. We go to Twisters. Lori wins to tie it up. We go to answer the question. Goes down to the last question.
It really does. It goes all the way.
Yes, and Ann wins. Thank goodness. And she's going to go on to play photo finish for $10,000.
A possible $10,000.
And I want you to explain photo finish.
Photo finish. Okay, let me scroll down here. Okay, so they can take a commercial break. They come back and say, "Ann, you've already won $6,500. You could win another $10,000 if you complete the entire end challenge." And what we see for photo finish is this kind of black screen with flashing red arrows, and the arrows go around kind of in a rectangle until they end up in the middle. And behind each red arrow are initials and a picture clue. And you say, all right, I see the initials, I see the picture clue. What do those 2 initials stand for?
Right, and there is a clock. There is a clock.
I think she had 30 seconds to get
7 or 8 of them.
I think 8.
Yeah.
Like it was quick and tough. I knew some of them, but 1980, there were some references in there I didn't get.
For sure, because you weren't born yet.
You know what's funny is I wasn't born yet, first of all. I was just watching the old Saturday Night Live. It was the first time Melissa McCarthy was hosting. And she played this old-timey character because they would do these, hey, let's look back at these old movies. And it was them doing a skit about an old movie. And it had 3 gentlemen callers at the bottom of this grand staircase. And it would have Melissa McCarthy. And she'd be like, why don't you come upstairs and come and see me sometime? She talked like that. But it was based off of the phrase. That was one of the answers for this is come up and see me sometime.
Yeah.
But she did a version of that on SNL. That's the only point of reference I have
really?
for that answer. Yeah.
You didn't have the Chips reference?
You mean just the answer for Chips?
Yeah.
It did not look like Eric Estrada for me. I felt like that was a bad picture.
It was a Chips. He was in his Chips uniform.
Yeah, well, I mean, I felt like it was a bad photo of him personally.
Okay. Well, they can't make him too easy. She gets all of them with 1 second left and wins $1,000. Now, here's where I got confused because she didn't get to the middle of it. She got them all right,
Right.
but not the middle. I didn't understand that you had to just get to that one.
And I don't think they made that fully clear either.
But if she gets this last one and she only has like 10 seconds to get one right.
And I guess it's for $9,000, this one question?
Right, because her total winnings, if she won it, would have been $16,500.
Yeah, that's what she won.
You know what? She banged it out. Patsajak says, great job. He didn't touch her inappropriately, which we have yet to see this season.
I think 1980 rolls around. There's still a nice...
There's still some groping.
Yeah, big heaping spoonfuls of sexism. And we didn't really get that from Pat Sajak at all.
Good job, Pat.
He can pat himself right on that.
Hey-yo.
What was the last question? Do you remember? It was like James Garner, Rockford Files?
Yeah, or something like that. Yeah, it was James Gardner.
2 sets of initials and then a picture of 2 people, and she had to figure out what it was, and she got it.
Yeah.
And I will say this, she did not seem like overly excited. I would have done like a spin move
because you're used to watching The Price is Right.
Oh yeah.
So the unacceptable celebration still hadn't been invented yet, but she looked happy.
I would watch The Price is Right, and I hear they pump pure oxygen in there to get everyone all fucked up.
Just like a casino. Just like a casino.
That's right. Keep them moving, man.
Pat Sajak says, we'll come back next week. Anne's going to try to go for some more money, right? Did they say that, or did she finish it?
I don't know if she's coming back or not. I can't tell. They made it sound like this is what you've won so far, so maybe she would be back? I don't know. Whatever. Why didn't Puzzlers work?
I don't know. I had trouble. I mean, I always list, some stuff, the pros and the cons per se. I had trouble figuring out why this didn't work. They had a buzzer that was consistent, a time buzzer. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? We've seen some other ones where the buzzer might go off in 20 seconds, may go off in 3 seconds.
Yeah, or people just go crazy with the answers, and yeah.
The rules and the scoring for the most part made sense. I had trouble finding. What do you think? Why this didn't work?
That is a tough question because my complaints thus far with some of the game shows has been, hey, why isn't there more variety? Or why aren't we building to something? We did both of those things here.
Structure.
There was a lot of variety. Mm-hmm. I will say this is one of my problems with it. The art, all able could have been fart, fall, fable, but it was tart, tall, table. That was the answer, the T. And if they would have gone further down the list, it would have revealed that it could have only been a T, right? I don't like that, though. I feel like there's too much room for interpretation there. How long do we have to wait before I chime in to know for sure? If I have a letter that works for both, that should be the right answer. I will also say this. On one of the questions where you had to see a picture, and that was part of the 2-word phrase, one was a guy's big fat gut, right? And I think the first time they answered it, it was...
something belly.
It was yellow belly.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yellow belly sapsucker.
Yeah. So you saw the big fat gut, and there was a blank up top, and it said, here's a Y. Here's an E. And someone chimes in and says, yellow belly. And they're like, yes, that's right. So then they said, now the picture, something about the picture is the
different,
first word.
Right.
Well, it's not different, but the word's
it's
different.
not belly. Yeah. It's the same picture, but it's not going to be belly again.
Something else about this picture. Take the word, and then we're going to slowly reveal the letters in the second part of the phrase, and you have to answer that. And to me, the first letter was P. And I'm thinking it could be gut punch. Right?
Yeah.
It could be stomach pain.
Right. But
it could be all these different things.
Right. And they want you to push that buzzer. They want you to get it wrong.
But that's not the answer shouldn't be so ambiguous to me. There should be a clear right and wrong, and you just having to wait to see that letter. Like I don't know, there's if it's a common phrase, then like gut punch or stomach pain, those are to me, those are things that the answer totally could have been, but it just wasn't what they had in mind. Well, and I don't like that.
That's like on Jeopardy. I mean, they want a specific answer on Jeopardy.
Yes, they want a specific answer because that is definitively the right. No, because that's the right answer.
Okay.
When you're asking a specific question, there's a specific answer.
Okay, I get what you're saying.
in Jeopardy, they're not solely revealing the whole. Here's the entire question. There can only be one right answer, but this is like there's room for interpretation, and I don't like that with the game show.
Okay.
I don't have a lot of complaints about this, but that's one of them. Do you have any others?
No.
Okay. Anything that you would do better?
There was sliding stages, there was lights, there was a buzzer. I love the scoring system. There was no, hey, I get your points now because I didn't do anything. That I was really happy about that too.
I didn't always understand, and every little thing wasn't always spelled out to a T, but you could see that there was a structure there.
Yeah, and it was quick. I mean, it was fast paced. It was not. It didn't allow the gag.
That counts.
Yeah.
It all counts, my man. It all counts, my man.
Ladies and gentlemen,
That's my Vince Vaughn.
please make sure your
My man.
seat backs
Oh.
and tray tables are in their
How you doing there, my man?
position.
Remember Vince Vaughn?
He was real tall.
Rotten Tomatoes, no. IMDb, no. Critic reviews, no.
Wow.
This is the part of the show where we take a look at what other people have to say about this, but largely there is not much being said about Puzzlers.
Wow. That's crazy.
There were some viewer reviews.
Let's give me a couple of those.
I only got 2, so that's all you're going to get. Burton1313 just 3 weeks ago said, how can there be a returning champ on this pilot episode? And how did she win $6,000 previously when you win $500 for a game, $1,000 for a bonus round, and $10,000 for the final answer? She would have had to won 4 previous games and bonus rounds and never solved the final answer. Of course this was the pilot, so she couldn't have won 4 previous games. That might be the most logical response I've ever heard in my life.
But when on the photo round, when it was called
Photo finish?
you got money for each one you got right.
Okay.
You didn't have to just get them all. You got money for each one you got right. So that
Well, if you win 1,000 and there's 8, it must be divided up weird. Like you get $126 for, you know what I mean? I didn't know that you got money for each one. Right?
I thought for sure you did.
You might have. I don't know.
Yeah.
But this thought process that this response had is very logical. I like it. Stephanie Rushing 1 year ago said, Buzzer, Lost and Found. So I think Buzzer's a channel, and it was probably on a Lost and Found. But I don't know how we're supposed to... If you're a layperson...
That's the beginning of it's the vault. It says Buzzers on the top of it. And
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, the Winx vault,
Yeah.
right? Your boyfriend. Ooh, why don't you marry him?
Why don't you marry Wink?
Gentlemen, welcome to FCF Airport. Local time is 11:11.
He's still alive.
Hey.
You could him. Could.
I'll flip some big cards. He'll like that.
He'd love it. He's older now, so the cards got to be even bigger. I've got to get even bigger cards there. Now it's our turn to rate Puzzlers. Do you want to go over the rating scale?
Yeah, the rating scale is very, very simple. There was a show in the 90s called Wings. It was a phenomenal show.
It's literally influenced everything I've ever done since watching the first episode.
Right. And which we did on this show one time.
We watched Wings.
Yeah, we had a whole bunch of people over.
It's a 4.5 hour episode.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
And the scoring system is based on characters from that show, Wings. 1 through 7, 1 being the worst, that's a Roy Biggins, and a 7 being the best, and that's Brian Hackett. And that's how we rate this. Not 1 through 10, not 1 through 5, not 4 stars.
Thumbs up and thumbs down.
That's we're not Siskel and Ebert.
That's not how we're gonna do it, huh?
It's not. We haven't been doing that for 28 years.
Captain Philip, rest assured, 28 years to you. How do you rate Puzzlers?
Seeing Anne.
Yes.
First of all, I was kind of taken aback because I was like, "Oh my God, that's my ex-wife from 1980."
Did you have some blood filter into your docile?
I see her at that time as where I enjoyed her.
So Anne looked like your wife in a time of your life. Your wife, when you still liked her.
Yeah. But I was like, "Hey, that's my first ex-wife. That's not right." And it was just So I had to take a point off of it for that.
Really?
Yeah.
An Anne de bump?
An and bump. Oh. Sometimes you can lance them off and put a Band-Aid on it, but...
Yeah, you get that thing at the store, it freezes them.
Yeah. I'm giving this a 6. I loved this.
A D bump to a 6?
Yes, I enjoyed this. It was fast-paced. I think Patsajak was already a pro. He wasn't slipping up or nothing. I liked the scoring system. I liked how quickly it went. I thought it was fair. The round between Lori and Ann had me on the edge of my seat.
Yeah, it really did come down to that final.
It was
final
captivating.
question.
It was captivating. The way Lori came back after I thought for sure Ann was going to win it all. I give this a 6.
Okay.
Jason, you've been scoring for 28 years too.
Yes, I'm so weary. Let me rest my feet.
Based off of Wings and the characters of Wings,
Right.
1 through 7, what would you score this?
That's a great question. Thank you for asking it.
A lot of times you just don't give me a chance to ask you.
I was too busy drinking this Bday hard seltzer. It's only 100 calories. I look at Patsajak and I think he probably owns slaves. No, he was dressed well and he did a great job as a host. He was charming, fun. He didn't butt in too much. He was a good host.
He wasn't grabbing at women or grabbing their hands or talking inappropriately.
Yeah, he didn't kiss them on any mouth like good old Dickie Dawson. But he did a fine job. The set was good. Sometimes we've seen sets and it's like, where'd you get this fucking card table?
Right.
They had. I'll say this. They had Razzle. My God, they did have Dazzle.
They had 2 different floating seats.
Yes. How they mastered that hover technology in 1980 is beyond me.
On that plush carpet.
Got the thick, beautiful shag carpet. You got the wonderful lights. You have the interaction with the contestants. I tell you this, Price is Right. That's a 7, baby.
Sure.
That's a 7. That for me, that is the gold standard of what a game show can be. Puzzlers was pretty good. I did not like the ambiguity of their questions. It is well structured. The show was well structured, and you had different rounds to reach that pinnacle point that you want. The final round
Right.
with one man remain, 3 enter, 1 man leave.
Just like the Coliseum.
Absolutely like that. But the questions not having specific answers is a problem for me. That's an issue but everything else is timed well and structured right. I'm thinking of 5. I'm gonna go 6.
Yes.
I think we got to get in the hand holding club on this one. Puzzlers is good. It's pretty good.
It is pretty good.
Yeah, this is something I could see going forward. Not only are some of the questions a little ambiguous, but I would say some of the questions are a little easy. But when you think about the people sitting at home during the day watching this, you're talking about a few notches down on the IQ.
I wrote the puzzles seem easy while you're watching watching on TV, but when you're under pressure, you're against, you got a buzz. Yeah. I would think it would be a little harder to be quick on the draw.
My strategy for this game, unless it was the one where it just showed you one letter at a time, any other puzzle beyond that, I buzz in instantly. I would buzz in almost instantly because a lot of these can be solved pretty quickly.
Sure, but if you get it wrong, you can't buzz in again. Okay.
Hey, you know what? Takes money to make money. Not sure that applies there. With your score of a 6, with my score of a 6.
Wow, that's great.
We close the book on Puzzlers, and we will never mention that show again.
Yeah.
But join us next time, won't you please, when we watch the pilot episode of Naked Jungle. Here's a little something to wet your whistle. Action-oriented game show for nudists. You can find the entire episode of Naked Jungle by subscribing to Couch Pilots and SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or your favorite podcast app of choice, and then simply click on one of our classically blue links in our show notes, or go to YouTube. Like,
you know what to do, Tube.
I thought about this midway through the banter.
Yeah.
About how we did not do the contact information.
I was going to point that out, but the banter was so good, and you gave me such a good birthday, I didn't want to say anything.
Such great banter.
Dude, all you got to do is change your notes on your Excel file.
I did. I did do it. Yeah, if you want to listen to all the old shows, they're on a website that was created by Blake.
We just paid for it again recently.
It's called couchpilotspodcast.com. Every episode is there from number 1. And then all of our different ways to contact us through social media, whether it be Facebook or Twitter. Check us out there. Send us an email at couchpilotspodcast@gmail.com or give us a call on our phone number.
Yeah, our phone number is Rusty. I know during COVID, a lot of people didn't like to talk on the phone because they were worried about getting the virus. But please, call this dial-in number. Just tell us how you're doing. If you don't want to talk about a pilot, or if you just have anything to say about our show or us, or just how your grandma's doing, let us know.
It's 910 Pilots 1. That's 910-745-6871. Blake, about 5 years ago, went through a very serious grandma phase. He does want to know how your grandma's doing.
And I want to know, not only do I want to know how your grandma's doing, I want to know how you're doing dealing with your grandma. I'm there to help.
That's right. He's been through it. He can talk you down. Blake, episode 8, 7. So we've done 7. This is the 8th episode where you are going to provide us information on how to be a savvy gambler.
Savvy gambler. My wife's birthday present to me was to take me to the casino and spend the night and go to 3 casinos total in the 2 days. Did I already mention not to be drinking too much when you're gambling? Was that one of them? I don't think so.
So apparently you drank too much on the show to know whether or not you have given that as a...
That's possible. But here,
and you have. You said don't gamble drunk.
Okay, so I'll change it up then. Okay? You got to know when you're... Like, you have to have a set amount of money that you're going to say, okay, if I lose this, I'm done. Don't, you know what I mean? Like...
I feel like you've already given that.
No,
I
that
thought
was
you had a
ticket.
pocket.
I know, but I'm saying this has to do with the ATM. You can't go into the casino and at any time go to the ATM. You have to stay away from. That's completely different
because the fees are so high.
No, the fees are high, but the
fees are high, but I'm paying them.
Gambling.
I can win at Texas Hold'em.
So don't go to the ATM. Cut your losses. Here's what happened. Friday night, I was winning. All right, I was ahead. I was using my method. Molly says, "Let's go to the other casino."
Would you say when we're done with this season and you've given all of your tips, that encapsulates your method?
Yes.
What is
the Blake method?
Okay, I was going to ask you the name. It's the Blake method.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, what else would it be?
I don't know.
No, but don't go to the ATM. I've done that before. I've went to the casino with X amount of money that I can spend that I know that I'm still going to be able to pay my bills, and I get caught up in shit, or I think I'm going to come back and I go to the ATM, and then I just feel worse.
Yeah.
The next morning, I woke up, and I was like, so I was winning at first. Then we went to the other casino. I was bound and determined to win at a specific game. There was 6 different machines that had that game, and I was determined that game I was going to win on, and I didn't. So I lost everything that I had won, plus everything I had taken. And then the next morning, I woke up, and I was just like, I'm done casinoing,
You got to know when to hold them.
But I didn't because we drove an hour and a half. I won half of it back, and I went to the Moose that night, won the other half of it back, and I was even by the end.
Fair enough. A good time don't cost you a thing. And with that, this pilot may have been rough, but it's always a smooth flight here on Couch Pilots. Thanks, everyone, and we'll see you next time.
Me love you.
That's a good tip.
Of my dick.
Yeah!
Can't do it.
Joining us on this trip, and we are looking forward to seeing